This week on Fargo Episode 10, the Season 3 finale. Nikki and Mr. Wrench plan for a gunfight. Varga gets stuck in a creepy elevator, and Emmett doesn't want to get eaten.
I am not food.
What's up guys, Ryan here. You can find me on Twitter at RyanEricP. And wow, what a season finale for Fargo. I am so sad that Season 3 is over, but don't worry, there are other things on TV to watch. Like Twin Peaks, Preacher, and Game of Thrones. We'll be breaking down those 3 shows in the coming weeks and a whole lot more, so do me a favor and subscribe. The season finale, titled Somebody to Love, opens with Gloria Burgle's resignation letter and some appropriately crafted opening credits with the familiar "This is a true story." Kudos to Gloria for using that typewriter since, she hates computers and all. We then head to the IRS where LaRue Dollard has been extremely busy getting to the bottom of the Stussy Lots Limited financial fraud. Props to director Keith Gordon, who does another fantastic job composing some incredible shots this episode. I love this wide shot of Dollard's beautiful mind brilliance going on. We also quickly find out that Nikki sent Dollard a note with the documents, Gloria's contact info. Gloria was literally halfway out the door, having already dropped off her resignation letter, but she was quickly convinced to rescind her resignation and meet with Dollard. Eventually, we find out that the investigation yields just an Emmett guilty misdemeanor charge for tax evasion and a mere 2 years of probation. As for Vargas Fate, we'll get to that. In an expertly executed sequence full of suspense, Varga and his fire team arrive at Nikki's meeting place. Another fine job by Gordon. Their final approach to the scene was masterfully done, simple but filled with so much tension. And the build-up paid off big time. Not since The Departed has an elevator sequence worked so well. A lot of the action takes place off-cam, as Mr. Wrench lays waste to the fire team, and Varga makes a cowardly and quick escape. And just when we thought that Nikki would get her sweet revenge on him, Varga sheds his trench coat like a snakeskin and vanishes through the elevator shaft. Honestly, I was pretty surprised he was so resourceful. He's not one to do the dirty work. The consolation prize for Nikki and Mr. Wrench? A whole lot of cash. But Nikki's not interested. She gives everything but a few stacks to Wrench and goes after Emmett. In a reveal that a lot of us saw coming, Emmett finds out that the widow Goldfarb was in fact working with Varga all along. So now we know exactly why she was covering for Emmett this whole time. Seems like she had been planning for that office remodel for quite some time. As for Emmett, he's headed to the only thing that he has left, his family. If they'll have him back, that is. But Nikki sabotaged his BMW, or it's just a crazy coincidence, that leaves him stranded on an empty highway perfect for an execution. Oh, and obviously he doesn't have cell phone service.
I asked if you still feel you got room to fall, or whether this is bottom.
Looks pretty bad for Emmett, right? Yep, until he's saved by the arrival of a lone police officer, and we all knew what was going to happen next. It's unfortunate to see Nikki go out this way, but let's remember, her hands aren't clean. She killed Maurice, attempted to steal from and blackmail Emmett, and who knows what else she's done in her past. And she just killed an innocent cop for doing his job. Fans of the Fargo movie will immediately recognize the song that's played after her death on the highway. That's Carter Burwell's Fargo, North Dakota from the movie's soundtrack. A couple more things to note here. Before the cop arrives, Nikki starts to recite Paul Moraine's message to the wicked, but gets interrupted. I felt that her death was pretty much a punishment for failing her mission. Emmett was not the wicked that the message was intended for. It was Varga. She also obviously killed an innocent man on the highway, so as much as we all rooted for her this season, she deserves to go out this way. So Emmett flees the crime scene without a scratch on him, but I have 2 pressing questions here. How the hell did his car just magically start again? Didn't it run out of gas or overheat or something? Guess it's more of that Fargo supernatural at work. And 2, wouldn't his smashed cell phone at the scene of the crime connect him to the shootout and the 2 dead bodies on the highway? I guess not. We soon fast forward to 5 years later. Emmett filed for bankruptcy, he pled guilty to a misdemeanor tax fraud charge, and was placed on 2 years probation. Minor footnote here, he also probably has a bunch of money hidden in an offshore account thanks to Varga. Emmett has the whole family back together, including poor old Cy, who will never be the same after that cup of tea.
Look at us. Together again.
Not so quick, Emmett. That perfect family dinner ends quickly as Mr. Wrench pays him a visit while he's staring at that Jell-O salad in the fridge. Props to Mr. Wrench for his patience, waiting a whole 5 years to finish the job that Nikki set out to do. And what a good friend. That brings us to the final showdown that we've been waiting for, Gloria Burgle and VM Varga. Gloria is now an agent with the Department of Homeland Security, and she gets a shot at questioning Varga at an airport holding room. The pair get into their familiar verbal jousting, Gloria providing the facts that she's dug up while investigating, and Varga attempts to create doubt.
But which of us can say with certainty what has actually occurred, and what is simply rumor, misinformation, opinion?
But Gloria doubles down on her assertion that Varga is done, that he'll be eating mashed potatoes in a dark room at Rikers. Unsurprisingly, Varga has a different prediction for what's going to happen.
In 5 minutes, that door is going to open, and a man you can't argue with will tell me I'm free to go, and I will stand from this chair and disappear into the world, so help me God.
And that's it. We aren't told what happens next. They are both waiting to be proven right, and it's up to the audience to decide which person they want to believe. So what do I think? Well, I obviously hope that Varga gets multiple life sentences in prison, but I'm not confident it happens. Much of season 3 has revolved around a world that doesn't make much sense, where it's entirely too easy for those who don't want to play by the rules to make their own. It's facts versus alternative facts. What is true is a whole lot of people died and lives were ruined, and Varga came out with hundreds of millions of dollars from just one parking lot operation. He's been playing this game for years. Just imagine the wealth and power he's accumulated. If anyone has the ability to pull this off yet again, it's the Vargas of the world. Regardless of how you interpreted the ending, one thing is certain.
Just know that sometimes the world doesn't make a lot of sense. But how we get through it is we stick together. Okay?
I would love to hear what you guys thought about the end of this episode. Do you think Varga went to prison, or do you think that he got away? Let me know in the comments below. Also, it sounds like we're a few years away from season 4, if it happens at all. Noah Hawley, please make season 4. We are begging you. We are begging you. Everyone, go tell Noah Hawley to make season 4.